Jai Sriram, Sriram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. We value good things in the world, in nature, in the nature of persons, in our own self. That is what is called introspection. You assess, self-assessment, self-analysis. Then only you can have self-development. Develop self-esteem. These are all related to spiritual life. Every person has spirituality dormant. Humans, particularly, of all the creation, they say we are above these 84 lakhs species, highest evolution. You examine the creation, human personality is so precious, unique, supreme. That is why they say the Lord is within you. You represent, you are an iota, a speck, and you have the quality, the grain of the oak. Rama himself declared, Atmanam Anusham Manye Ramam Dasharathatmajam. Rama declared himself as a human being, son of Dasharatha. No other God or incarnation. They lived in their own aura. Krishna, in fact, declared himself to be God. Whereas the rishis told him, no, my dear young boy, you are not God that way. Come with your brother Balarama, Krishna. Both together you make one incarnation. That's how Krishna was told by the rishis. Rishis are a class by themselves. Deities, divine beings, rishis, human beings. This is the classification. It requires deep understanding of creation. So the rishis told Krishna, you are not God, singly. You are a small child. You have to understand so much in life. Because, see, why God should be born like that in jail with parents and then with the sacrifices of his siblings, 7 his elders were butchered. How should such things happen to a God? His birth, should it be in such cruelty, preceded by such crime? Absurd, most unthinkable. And as a small child also he had to face so many ordeals from his own maternal uncle wanting to kill him daily. So they said, with Balarama and Krishna, like 2 eyes, 2 hands, 2 legs, you make one incarnation. That is why in Bhagavatam you find reference to Ramakrishnulu. Beautiful. See, people do not understand you unless you go behind the expression. You cannot know the philosophy. So, Rama was born 12 noon, Krishna 12 midnight. The whole world of philosophy is going around them. That's why they said Ramakrishnulu in Bhagavata everywhere. All the tricks played by him are not of divine strength. See, he had to make Arjuna behave like a Swami. He was to marry Subhadra. Because Balarama was a straightforward person. No hanky-panky business. So, Krishna takes Arjuna as a sannyasi, dressed as a sannyasi, and tells his brother, who was the king, Balarama, that here is a sannyasi. So Balarama immediately says, let us put our sister, who is to be married, under his care, so that he will bless. And they elope. So Rama, Krishna should be understood as the black and white, day and night. See, there is some sort of, in divine incarnations also, the bright side has to be taken. Certain things cannot have a shade. The light has a shade, no doubt. But a candle burns itself out. Where are the people? There were saints. The rishis who lived such a life. They never had an axe to grind, as we say. They lived only to make people happy, to live a peaceful, happy, prosperous life they prescribed. Ramayana opens with the qualifications or qualities of Rama and Sita, his consort. They are the ideal. If people follow, they will be happy. Rama Rajyam was like that. So the description is, Ramo Rama iti prajanam abhavan katha Ramamevan naphyemsan parasparam sarvam muditamevasit. See how truth is so simple. Rishis lived very simple lives. That is why spirituality is simplicity and decency. Animals do not wear any attire or cover their private parts. But humans, when it originated, we cannot say. The aborigines, they also covered themselves with leaves. There are some big leaves. See, tamarind, small leaf. The teak leaf is so big, you can dine on it. Badam leaf is big. So they covered their private parts with leaves. Now we have, you see the fashions. They used to have the body is fully covered. In cold regions, you have to cover so much. When it is hot, you throw off all the things, have minimum. Now they are leaving all the clothes. You have the naked sadhus also. Even now they are mingling with people. It is not proper. Because decency is insisted. Veda says, you need not look different from ordinary people. A spiritual person. You don't have to grow hair all over in your private parts also and exhibit all that as a sign of your special status as a sadhu. Why sadhus should? In those days there were no saloons and no way to shave. But now, see, animals don't. The lion grows the mane. So, but human beings should look normal, decent and simple. How Gandhi was, or the great Nanak Dev, or any of the Ramakrishna Paramahansa, Chanting Swami, Valmiki, all the rishis lived simple lives. Modern life, you also can live a very decent, simple life without having to grow hair all over and exhibit it. And complicate. The life is so complicated in modern times. And you don't have to exhibit the old way of living. This is called the identity crisis. Now the present Swamis have so much of extravaganza, paraphernalia. Why all that? See, Vaswani sadhu, they are called sadhus. Why a sadhu should live a simple life? He cannot afford a kit, shaving kit and all that. So he may live with a little natural hair and all. But he should not come out showing everything. And naked bodies, mingle with people. You live alone in seclusion. So I have met sadhus who lived in the caves. In Himalayas also, in Kulu Valley, I was reading an article. See, they lived in thatched houses, they got burnt, and so they are now using modern equipment. Building materials are now reaching those places, remote places. But in the cities, still a little rain is cutting off thousands of villages. And they are living a life of misery. But these Gurus, Swamis, live a modern life, and they organize pilgrimages to manaschor, to foreign countries, Singapore, Dubai, all these, spending lakhs and crores. The rich people, clientele, disciples, they pull up and go abroad. When our villages are not having any sort of infrastructure, why should you take these rich disciples? Almost all the Gurus and Swamis I find, about 10 or 15 of them, they collect crores of rupees and take them to manaschor, disturbing Lord Siva, who sits there chanting Ram Ram. So I had a vision saying, see, these Gurus are bringing lakhs and lakhs of people every year, disturbing my peace. I come to them. If they pray Ram, 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 they say there is Yatra Yatra Raghunatha Kirtam. So if you chant Ram Nam, they say Hanuman immediately stands by your side. This is experienced by all. I tested the truth of certain of the things. They are very true. They are not apparitions or illusions or delusions. This is some vibrations. There is some truth in what the rishis experienced. We can experience those truths. They say if you chant Ram, 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 you get elevated. Your consciousness gets elevated. And the body consciousness will not be there. So higher regions of consciousness, it may communicate with certain powers. There are certain powers operating in the world, in the universe. How the earth is maintained, the solar system is maintained, the vibrations, the distance, gravitational forces, they say. How are they working? Like that, you have the energies inside the body around you. If you can tune, you receive. See, a small chip can receive what's happening in America. You can see them also. The extrasensory perceptions are now the IT developments are so mind-boggling. I can see the present of what the president is doing in America or reach Alaska, the animals in Himalayan peaks. They are all before me. If I am having the equipment to tune and like that, the mind also. The mind is a huge factory, not only chemical, electronic. So you can develop and work back. Time machine, a beautiful concept. So you can go back, you can go forward. They have seen H.G. Wells. What will happen to mankind? Can anybody predict? You cannot predict even an earthquake. Traditionally, some spots are noted for their disasters. They are hit by But there may be cases where suddenly something crops up and humanity is destroyed. Man-made disasters, natural disasters. The meteors can hit and create a huge crater. They are finding new craters now, resulted from the hits from the space. So, if you want to have a good spiritual life, to experience the greatness of human birth, be simple, be decent. The Swamis and Gurus are exhibiting so much of their separateness, identity. All this is tomfoolery, is not necessary. You utilize your energies, your disciples' money, not to take them away to Himalayas and pilgrimages. Utilize them to serve the poor villages. How many villages are there in India? Lakhs of villages are not having the infrastructure. They are not having the current even. Now Modi is trying to give electricity to all the villages. That will be the greatest blessing in this century, which nobody conceived so far. If you can give light, that is the physical light. Internal light to the person, I am trying to give by the spiritual switch. When you put on the light, electrical light, which Modi is trying to give, it's a great help, because nothing moves without electricity in the darkness. So India will be lighted. But every person to be lighted, every person is, inside there is a world, spiritual switch. Sit quietly and chant Ram Ram, Ram Ram, see this. And divine powers come to your rescue. That's what was declared in Veda. How did they receive all the wisdom? 24,000 slokas were written by the bandit Ratnakara, sitting quietly, chanting Ram Ram Ram. Tapaswadhyaya nirtam tapasvi vagvidam varam. 24,000 verses. Impeccable metrical perfection. With all the concepts, modern knowledge, you see the volume of books on modern subjects which were not conceived earlier. See the technology dictionary, if you see not the jargon, the sort of special vocabulary developed in every subject. Each will make a book. This is knowledge. So you can receive that knowledge. And by expanding your mind, your consciousness, this spiritual switch will help you. What is the ultimate? To experience peace. Peace is the ultimate. That is why you say, may his soul rest in peace. How to experience peace? Parama Santi, sukhanidhana, Divya Ramanam. You should believe what the rishis gave. After years, their life was running to several hundreds of years. Now we have this say 100 years. Some lived more than 100. I met Chanting Swami, my ancestor, lived for 280 years. The British gazettes have the anecdotes, they recorded history. Chanting Swami, he was the guru of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. He wrote Ram Nam, Ram Ram on the tongue of Ram. Chanting Swami, Paramahamsa, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa became. So that triggers, it's a trigger, it's a switch. This Ram, Ram, Ram. Anybody can try and see the difference. Once you experience peace by living a simple spiritual life, the complications created by our Gurus and Swamis is removing even the deities from the world. That's why we are visited by the disasters. Homams create smoke and do all sorts of things which frighten even the deities. Live a simple, calm life, decent life. That is spirituality. It requires a radical change in the attitude, mindset, lives of our Gurus and Swamis. The world will be a better place and spirituality will pervade the entire world. Jai Sriram.